Welcome. May your deep inner self be at peace. Feel free and breathe easy. In today's session, our journey of healing continues. Take a few deep breaths. Become aware of your breathing again. Shake out your limbs and get totally comfortable. Let's begin to settle into a receptive and meditative state of mind. As we examine our own thinking patterns today, we're going to go inwards, towards the source of thinking and feeling. Allow yourself the space and peace to sink down, deep into your true self. Allow the seeds of insight in your own heart to awaken. As you breathe easily, close your eyes and focus your attention on the ajna, the so-called third eye, which is in the space between your eyes, at the root of the nose. So far, we've gained some insight into the essential nature of anxiety. We are starting to see through its many disguises. This is our natural intelligence arising. We already have the first tool to deal with the physical dimension, which is body breathing. We have begun to work with our emotional dimension too. May these tools be of great benefit in your life. Keep using them whenever you feel anxious. Remember them. Join them with your personal essence. Feel your breath now. Feel that space between your eyes as we continue. Now, we will look at the mind and see how mindfulness is a way to transcend our mental habits that constantly make us feel anxious. Let's get our goal clear in our minds. We are talking about anxious thinking habits and how to transcend. Anxious people ruminate often. That means constantly chewing over the same old worries. And we do this almost compulsively. We feel we can't help it. The restless mind takes over completely, runs the show, and we feel powerless to stop the worry and the thoughts in our heads. We lose sleep. Our heads buzz with endless scenarios. We exhaust ourselves. And we become ratty with other people. This is exactly the unconscious habit that we are going to transcend. First, we're going to send a clear message to our subconscious mind. We're going to ask our mighty subconsciousness for help and guidance. My mind will become clear, calm, and receptive. I ask for crystal clear insight and purity of thought. May I access my deepest consciousness for my own benefit and for the benefit of all sentient beings I encounter. If you are analytical by nature and prefer thinking rather than going into the body or working with the emotions, then you may benefit greatly from mindfulness. What is this thing we call mindfulness all about, really? What is the crux of it? Instead of explaining it at length, perhaps the best way is to see it directly for yourself. Here's how. Try to just be a fly on the wall in your mind. For the next few seconds, pay very, very close attention to exactly what thoughts enter your mind. All right, let's continue. Whatever you just experienced, you got a first-hand glimpse of mindfulness at work. Many people will experience an odd sensation the first time. The mind may go blank. You might experience a confusing feeling, as if your mind begins to get antsy, bored, or restless. Some people experience a blissful sense of peace. This is really the heart of mindfulness. Simply paying a lot of attention to exactly what's happening up there in our heads. It is like a deeper dimension of consciousness opening up. Our minds will focus on whatever we choose to pay attention to. If we don't choose deliberately, the mind runs on autopilot. It runs us. We don't get to choose. Awareness is like a powerful searchlight. Wherever we point our beam of attention, that is what the mind illuminates. With mindfulness, we turn that beam of attention back towards consciousness itself. We ask ourselves, what am I thinking and sensing right now? Can you see the difference? Instead of pointing our attention at the outside world, or the imagination, or the past, or the future, instead of that, we turn our powerful beam of attention inwards, towards the source of all our thinking, right here and now. That simple act changes everything. When we learn how to do that regularly and constantly, then anxiety begins to retreat from the bright light of awareness. Our minds become calm, responsive, and pure. The reason we are talking about this is because mindfulness is going to be your most valuable tool to transcend the mental dimensions of anxiety. Anxiety thrives where thinking is only automatic, where consciousness is dark, confused, and conditioned by habit. Anxiety feels at home there. Fear cannot exist when there is pure conscious awareness. The two kinds of thinking are incompatible. There is place for only one in our minds. Try to see the truth of this as we allow the mind to sink into meditative contemplation. If you find yourself drifting in your thoughts, you can come back to your breathing again to anchor you in the present moment. It is going to take a bit of practice, so please be very patient with yourself. But know that the more aware you become, the less anxiety will be present in your thinking. That, in turn, will send a healthier message to your body that will help you create a center of gravity that feels secure and open and free. Let's do another quick experiment so you can test this for yourself again. For the next few moments, try to think of nothing at all. Go deep into your breathing. Explore your third eye. See how long you can keep it up. You may have noticed that your mind has a tendency to resist. All kinds of ideas and subtle feelings might have surfaced. You may have started wondering if you were using the right technique. Whatever you experienced or thought about, simply let that go now. The main thing is to get used to watching the mind, turning our attention inwards instead of only on the outside world. Keep anchoring your thoughts and feelings here in the present by using your breathing. Each time you realize that your thoughts are drifting or off on another train, bring them back. As we practice paying attention to our own mental atmosphere, we are starting to develop a new kind of inner mental muscle, the power of concentration and focus. This is vital for a calm and happy mind. Now, as you are breathing mindfully and sinking into meditativeness, allow yourself to briefly examine and analyze your own usual patterns of anxious thinking. Stay detached and present as we do this together. Cast your memory back to the last time you felt anxious. That is in the past. It is not here with us. We are safe here. Think about the many times when anxious thoughts have ruled your headspace. Think about how it feels to chew over your fears and constant worries. Think about how draining that is. Can you clearly see your own destructive mental habits and how they eat up your time and energy without giving you anything? Do not be afraid to think about it. You are safe. You are not going to get lost. By being honest and by using our power of attention, we are gradually going to unravel these knots of fear and negativity. Now, come back to the present again. Simply let go of those thoughts. Let them fade away. No need to follow. Turn your light beam of attention inwards again, towards whatever you are thinking right now. Try to see which thought comes up next. Come back to the breath again. Feel that empty, peaceful space behind all the thoughts and feelings beyond any description. Simply watch what is happening in your thoughts and feelings. Don't get involved. You're allowed to simply stop feeding that anxious energy. Simply lose interest. Become interested in the empty background instead. Thoughts come and go. We are not our thoughts. We are that essential awareness which makes thinking possible. Now, we're coming back to regular alert consciousness. If you want to stretch out your limbs and shake yourself loose, feel free to do so. We will continue our mindfulness training in a later session. If you want to keep stretching those muscles of awareness, you can use the Awareness Training audio track. In that track, there is not much talking, so you can really settle the mind, and you can gradually increase your focus time at your own pace. May a mindful attitude guide you through the rest of this week. Keep reminding yourself to take a minute to become more mindful, more aware of your own thinking. Don't give up, no matter how many times it feels like you're failing. Gradually, you will create more and more peaceful space around your thoughts, and anxiety will slowly fade into the background and finally disappear completely. The Truemefy team wishes you the best of luck. Check in again tomorrow for the next session.